live. Hello everyone and welcome to the Monday afternoon GGRC Quarantine Series Round 1, where it's going to be team versus team, Devil's Hounds team versus Arrakans. I'm joined in the commentary today by our race commander, Nicholas.
Good evening everyone.
And on pace car today will be RAF PG7.
Hello everyone.
I take it qualifying is underway, yes?
It is underway.
It is indeed underway.
So I imagine, yeah, this first lap's just a burner lap, isn't it? No one's going to be going for times.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Okay, so with Devil's Hounds team, the theme for liveries is predominantly black, and Arrakan's team livery will be mostly orange.
What?
And well, mess up already.
We have
Beginner. This is.
Yeah. Oh god. It's all
I
gone
think just restart the
to
stream,
pot.
perhaps.
No.
We might as well just keep the stream going because they're going to abandon the race.
Arakan needs filler for his year review.
Yeah.
I think right here you get a casual bit of GGRC banter while we're on the way.
Yeah. So it's good though. It's definitely all here.
Raph, didn't you do the exact same mistake once during a GGRC
I
race?
don't want to talk about that.
Let's just count this as a start
yes,
check.
exactly. And not just once, but twice.
Oh. That's right.
To be fair, I did this mistake more than once. Well, more than just one lobby. I did it in 2 lobbies, 3 lobbies.
And
why I don't
Ender is of
host
course
anymore.
blaming Arakan.
Of course.
We've got some smack talk in the chat. Arakan asking, why would you pit in qualifier? Is there a reason why you would do that?
Yes, because that way people can, for the beginning of the qualifier, they can start wasting fuel and not really care about tyres. Then pit in, get a brand new set of tyres, and not refuel. So
as
that
we
way
move over
they
to the
have less fuel.
as we move over to the chat history here, we see that Arakan's team have imploded. Wonder how this is going to affect the next hour's race.
Maybe.
Is there a link up for the stream? Because if not, then I have to find it.
That is a good point.
Quickly ask Vet, or just give him the link for him to put in video alerts.
The issue is that Vev is racing right now.
Nobody's racing right now, are they?
Well, in quali, I mean.
Oh, is this quali's restarted?
Yeah. Quali's restarted.
Okay, let's get back into spectate.
I will also plop into spectate. I will enter track before I forget to enter track, and then we will have no safety car after all. So yeah, you can definitely pick out who is part of which team by simply the basis of the liveries. The predominantly black liveries of Vev's team, and then the more colourful liveries of the opposing Arrakan's team.
And you can see that most of the participants have made a lot of effort for their livery. And I believe is running his Season 7 livery.
Yes, I believe so. One thing that I have noticed is that Willie has something very interesting with his car livery, because I believe he has taken his Season 7 livery and he has given it a new look with a different colour. He used to be a dark cyan blue, and now he's changed it to this very bright fluorescent orange. The high visibility jacket here.
Yeah, as we've discussed just before the stream, Leo K has also done something similar. He's currently running what looks like his season 10 livery, but in bright orange as opposed to the red and blue. Was it red and blue in season 10? Was it orange and blue?
Blue and a faint pale orange.
Yeah.
So even though Leo K is in Arakan's team, I do hope that he will perform well, as he has been struggling in the past few seasons, and he is also my teammate for this current season 10. So
Yes.
I hope that he can catch some people out with some unexpected pace.
Yes, Leo K has the benefit of this race. Unlike the previous Formula 1500 event, he's not the only amateur on grid, so he's got closer competition, I would say.
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
Hope to see some good fights all the way throughout the field, not just at the back, certainly also in the front, but also in the midfield. I think some
I believe this is an endurance race, so you will have if there's no safety car, you'll have a more spread out pack, and you'll have fights both in the front and then in the back.
Yes, of course. There'll probably also be a few more tactical fights, so fights are happening over the duration of the pit stop area. But all in all, I think this should become a very action-packed, hopefully a very action-packed event. So the first few people are coming across the line. Kepler, first person to set a lap time. Let's see, 1:55.4. Very fast.
That's incredibly
And the
fast.
second person. Now Devil coming across the line, a second off his teammate. He has been showing very good pace throughout the practice sessions, and he's proven it here. But Willie, again, showing his very, very big strength in the Group 3s and his very strong liking for the Vantage. 1:55.9, breaking that 1:56 barrier.
Yet still no one who has beaten Keplero's first time of 1:55.4.
I imagine that this will actually be a very tough time to beat. No doubt that some people will get close, and in fact, speaking of which, would you look at that? Patrick
Under a tenth.
only barely missing out on Kep's time by a tenth.
Currently on board with Devil's Hound now, just taking that hairpin, a little bit shaky, but he's holding firm.
Interestingly, Pim chose not to set a lap time and actually pitted, perhaps actually doing the strategy that I was explaining earlier of fuel wasting earlier and pitting to get a new set of tyres to set a lap time with less fuel in the tank, which basically just means that you are qualifying with effectively a lighter car.
Although we do have to state that the drivers are allowed to pit for tyres, but they are told to use the same compound that they had on the faster,
Yes.
or they can't change compound
as they started. They only, so for example, Pim is locked in to the soft compound of tyre throughout the entirety of this qualifying session. Of course, during the race, every driver will be needing to use every compound for at least 5 laps. So that will probably really mix up quite a lot of the strategies. Maybe a few more stops, maybe a few less stops. But I think strategy will be very varied over the duration of this 1 hour race.
So we're on board now with Keplero as he's hot on the heels of GGRC Ender.
I'm currently keeping an eye on Pim as he is on his first flying lap.
Ender has slowed right down to allow Kepler to pass.
I believe they are all on their pit out lap, so both Ender and Kep are on their pit out lap. Well, Kep put on lease is, and yep, indeed, Ender is as well.
Okay, we now have 2 people joining the stream. Hello and welcome to those of you.
Final few corners.
One of
Get the braking point nice.
at the moment, because we've got Jeffrey Johnson, also known as JJ, who is the nephew, I believe, of Zenow.
Very
Zenow.
interestingly, supporting the old one. And interestingly, once again, Pim chose to not set a lap time and pit in once again.
We're now
This is
watching
a very high risk, high reward
MLS.
game that he's playing here because, well, this really only means that he's going to have only one chance at a hot lap. So if he messes that chance up, there's no do-overs.
We're now currently watching MLS with the
coming back out. Oh, and a big mistake. Leo refuels all the way to the top. That's some wasted energy and wasted potential.
Well, MLS having a bit of a connection issue there, it's bouncing across the track.
Right, so the current standings are still Kepler in the lead, followed closely only by a tenth by Pat, then half a second off is Willie, and almost another half a second off is Arakan. Only a tenth splitting Arakan and Devil. Sixth place goes to Ritz, and very closely followed by MLS. Only 0.08 of a second splitting the two. Ender in 8th. Only 0.2 behind. Now, and then we take a bit of a jump to Kaz in 9th, 1.2 seconds behind. Then Leo in 10th, another 10th behind, and Z now completing out the currently ranked drivers all the way down in 11th with a 1:59.3.
I do have to say, I did mess up. Jeffrey Jansen is not the nephew of Zenow, he's his godson. I knew that they were related, I just couldn't remember how. But now he told us that he is Zenow's godson.
What is this wise on behalf of Pim to not set a qualifier and go for
Pim
last place?
Just about managed to cross the line before the 10-minute mark, so he is indeed still on for his
As someone has
lap
spun
time.
out, and that was Kepler.
I think. Oh yeah.
Has
Big
he spun
shame
out?
for
Or is that
Kepler
because
spun out in T3. Right. So right now, Kepler holding provisional pole, followed by Pat, who are both teammates. This is looking very good for the top of the field for Devil Hounds team.
Suck.
But yes, exactly. But four members take up spot 3 to spot 6 on the grid. Are all part of Arakan's team. So if Pim could snatch into that top 3, that'd be very, very good. Let's jump on board with him as he's coming around the back straight here.
He's the only person left to
he
finish.
Seems to have a purple sector. He seems to be on for a very fast lap time here. If he can keep the pace up, it doesn't really matter if he gets a pole or not, because he still he only needs to qualify 3rd or higher. Here he comes around the final corner. Let's see if he is gonna pull a fast enough lap time. It's looking very good. And it is
Perfect.
good.
He's on
Pole
pole.
position
Pim has claimed
for
the pole
Pim.
position, so we now
3
have
temps in front of Capero.
we have the top 3 positions for Devil's Hounds team. Arakan is not happy about this.
Arakan is
Arakan
very
goes for the
much not
front,
happy about this, but we come to expect this.
the front shunt. Many people unhappy,
And
others
I'm not sure if you can
congratulatory.
hear us, but the stream can confirm indeed that Pim crossed the line about a second before the 10-minute time marker ran out. So cutting it close really is the right expression to use here.
It's a huge upset for Team Spinella, as Team Suck have the top 3 positions on the grid.
Let's hope that this can stay this way, and I will leave the actual live race commentary over to you two, as I'm now going to jump into the role of safety car. I will still be here to commentate and talk over a few other facts, but I probably won't be able to talk too much about the actual ongoings on the track.
Well, thank you very much for your input.
Everyone seems to be ready to race right now, so I'm going to put in the message. We're off. You can start the final.
And here we go.
This is shaping up to be
The
very
race is about
exciting.
to get underway. Casual bit of trash talk.
That's a very dominant top 3 positions.
Indeed, very strong showing from Team Suck.
Then there's also a 3 position gap between Patrick. Oh no, 4 positions, as Willie, Aritz, Ender
Yes.
and Arakan take up the 4 to 7. And then it's back to Devil's
Right, so I'm
Hound
on
at
the
8.
grid. And it's lights out.
And we're go, go, go.
I'll stay clear, everyone.
Okay, so as we're approaching the first bend, Kepler goes in a bit tighter than Pim does. Still very grouped up.
Everyone getting for the first corner very well.
As we approach T3 and T4.
Ender has already moved from P4, I believe, into second position.
He has. Pim
Wow.
is slowly increasing his lead to almost a second.
Moving into position. Safety car is at the ready.
Understood.
So the grouping up, everyone's starting to fall into the racing line now.
I was just having a look at what compounds everyone's on for their first stint, and it looks like Devils and Zeno are the only 2 drivers who are out on mediums. Everyone else took the soft compound.
That's very interesting. They're both in the same team, so perhaps maybe some team orders going on over there.
Team strategy play.
Kepler coming up on the inside of Ender. Looks like a little bit of touching. So they're both going into the chicane. Oh, it's that Kepler cut the corner.
I believe Capero was slightly pushed off, or he wanted to try and outbrake Ender, but just massively backfired as he's dropped down to 6th position.
So we're currently on board with Kepler now. So he has Devil's Hound approaching him from the rear. Oh, MLS with a very cheeky undertake of Devil's Hound. Took him on the inside of T1.
I see all the races drive past here. I think I should be in a good position to actually get some pretty amazing shots here.
MLS goes
Couple
wide
pass.
for T3. Oh no, MLS is having severe connection issues as he ping-pongs around the map. Obviously driving with an
That's
Infinity
not
Stone
good
on board.
news.
Now currently watching Devil's Hound. This first stint of Devil's Hound running mediums, he has lost quite a few positions, but he's still maintaining a very fast speed.
No, it's probably going to be quite a lot of strategy work going on over there to make those mediums last a little bit longer. I'd imagine he'd probably stay out a bit longer than the rest of the field on those mediums, as they probably degrade a tad bit slower than the softs.
At this very moment, it is still difficult to compare the tyre wear between the two compounds. As Patrick pushes Ender off the track, no damage, but Ender dropped down to 4th.
Currently with MLS, as he is suffering some minor lag spikes. I wonder if that is what is preventing Devil's Hound from reclaiming his 8th position. And how much does it fit into the strategy, worrying about connection issues in a virtual race?
It could actually play out to a big disadvantage for the one on the receiving end, as it could pose a challenge to overtake others simply because of the unpredictability of the connection. Someone could just be sliding all over the track with a bad connection, making himself about twice as big as he normally be. So it could really hinder him from moving forwards and actually setting a good pace and really just doing more what he wants.
We're on board now with Arakan as MLS reaches speeds of up to 14,000 miles per hour due to insane lag connections. He just flew off the map and then came back. I'm on board with Arakan as Kepler was going for the overtake, and MLS in the background just sailed off into the distance.
Arakan has a 1 second time penalty at the moment.
Seems to be a bigger gap between P9 and P10, which are, I believe, Devil's Hound and Kaz.
There aren't many.
Yes, you are right.
There aren't many positions on this track, the NUB GP, where one can bin off all of their time penalties. So Arakan may be carrying that penalty for quite some time. Let's go towards the back of the pack now. We're on board with Cameron, Kaz 75.
Willie was trying to look for the overtake on Patrick, and he might do it.
Ender seems to have a bigger penalty.
Kaz is maintaining his lead over Leo K, and
here come all the competitors past.
And Z now holding up the rear end.
Big lead. Him already setting in his claim as a very, very, very strong competitor. A very big lead, it seems. About 2 seconds, 3 seconds, it looked like.
Yeah, but it's closing up to 5 seconds ahead of Patrick.
That's a very strong lead. Maybe something happened between Patrick and Willie. There seems to have been a bit of fighting over those.
Patrick does look like he's going more on the defensive against Willie, who's really trying to go for that second position, but I think at the moment he's tucked into Patrick's slipstream.
Well, it could actually be a bit of tactical team play for Patrick to keep Willie behind and let Pim drive off into the sunset a little bit.
This is Patrick and Willie both sort of matching each other for tyre wear and fuel consumption. So they may end up just being stuck together for quite a
MLS went
large
for the
portion of the
overtake
race.
on Ender.
Looked like Willie was going for the overtake. Decided not
And
to
this
as
is
they
to
go through the
drop
final
quite far
chicane up
back.
towards the last hairpin.
He started from 4th position, I believe, and is now currently in 8th.
Patrick is racing very defensively now as he's trying to keep Willie and Aretz at bay.
And there's a spin.
Oh, Keplerot. Was that Keplerot?
Keplerot is out.
Spun out on the
Or
final
Keplerot
bend.
has got crash, or has got damage.
Engine
I didn't
damage?
see, from
He
my
has-
perspective,
He has critical
Yeah.
front and front near side wheel.
is there any possibility that you can go back and see how that crash ensued? Because from the angle I was looking at, I could not see if he had been pit maneuvered into that spin.
There is indeed a replay function, but I honestly don't know how to use it. But there is a replay function if you are using the keyboard, which is
yes,
the
I
case
don't
here. Mm.
have the command for replay.
That's a shame. Oh well, we'll have to make do without it. But yeah, it's
We'll go back
really,
we'll view the replay at the end of the race.
it's really quite a big surprise as to what happened to Ender, because he's, as we said, he started in P4, but he very, very quickly managed to find his way into P2 straight off the bat in the first lap, and now he's fallen way back down to P8.
Something has also happened at the end of at the back end of the pack, as Kaz has gone from position 10 to 12.
Maybe a spin out. There seems to
Well,
be quite big gaps.
He's
from
taken no
onwards.
damage, so that is unknown at the moment. Okay,
We've got a few
Pim
groups
currently
here.
here
We've
with
got
a
Pim out in the
5-second
lead.
lead.
Yeah, we've got Pim out in the lead, and we've got a bigger group. I think of 6
Yep.
cars about.
Patrick in second, followed up by Willie, Aretz and Arakan. Kaz not happy about whatever
Has
has happened with
definitely
him.
not happy.
MLS
Maybe
is
some own mistakes,
a second behind Arakan.
and we have our first pitter.
Devil's Hound
Kep is into the
not
pits.
far behind that. Kep, of course, will be pitting for repairs.
That's very true. I have forgot, but he
Does,
has come out on mediums.
Ah,
Maybe strategy change. Oh, Pim very sideways coming out of T4. Called
I
that.
saw that.
Patrick
He's
doing his
still
utmost
hot
to
on
keep
the
everyone
heels.
at bay. He has the majority of Arakan's team right behind him, Team Spinala.
It is good, but this, because Devil's Hound has found himself in a bit of clean and empty air, so he could try and make some work to catch up with that pack and maybe even get an overtake. But we have to remember Brood is still on those medium comparative tyres, and they might start to be wearing out now.
Pim's lead looks to be extending out to 7 seconds ahead of Pat, but this doesn't necessarily mean anything, as in the last race we had, I believe it was Lilium, pulling away massively from second place, but after the first pit stop really dropping off and not being able to extend the lead as he had before.
Because Patrick and Pim are on the same team. This lead that's being extended by Pim, is that Pim's driving ability, or is that Patrick potentially blocking everyone from getting close?
I honestly
Looking
think
at
As
the
Willie has
numbers-
shunted
Ooh,
Patrick,
contact.
it's
Pim
caused
is into the pits now.
Patrick and
Maybe
so
Arakan
is
are both heading for the
Patrick
pits.
and get ahead of everyone else before they come back around.
Looked like Willie had chosen to push
Yeah,
Pat into the pits.
Oh. And Pim is indeed out ahead of everyone. Now this is very big,
Here's a
because
2-second
now
lead.
this basically means that Pim has already managed to do a pit stop while everybody's still out. Did
We're now on board with
did
Aretz.
Willie actually go into pit just now?
Willie did not pit, I believe. He stayed out, but he did have a bit of a slight issue where he
behind both Fritz and MLS.
It was on
which
the
could actually pose an issue to him.
after the penultimate chicane. He had a slight bit of contact with Patrick, which forced Patrick into the pit. Willie is suffering flashing bumper and wheel damage.
I am seeing that.
That's definitely not good news for him. The back of the grid seems to have very much split up.
Willie pushes ahead of MLS.
Leo K and Kaz all having very big gaps between them, although Leo and Kaz seem to be a bit closer to each other.
Aritz Gaming looks like he's going for the same kind of setup he had for the last race, as in he is driving with ABS turned off. He seems to be a fan of driving in that configuration without ABS, so if he can deal with it, maybe it makes him faster, we'll see.
He is kind of put at a disadvantage here because everybody else on the grid is running ABS. So...
As he does go into the pits now.
As does Devil's Hound, which gives Patrick the opportunity to push back up the grid from 6th.
Now this is actually kind of interesting because I saw a few people actually enter the pits at the same time as Devil's Sound, but they were all on softs while Devil's Sound was on mediums.
Patrick is back up in the number 2 position. However, he's currently on his stint of racing hards, so I wonder how aggressive he's going to be with his defence.
Him with a very commanding lead. That's an immensely commanding lead over Patrick.
He is up to 11 seconds ahead of Patrick.
And we've got to remember that both of them have pitted by now.
Both.
Capraro managed to work his way back up to P6.
Both look to be on equal tyre and fuel, or tyre wear and fuel consumption. Although Patrick has put on a set of hards, whilst Pim is on his second stint with softs.
This is definitely going to increase the gap and maybe probably allow Ender to catch up to Patrick and maybe even overtake him for position.
Possibly.
Leo and Kaz have managed to come closer to each other.
Devil's Hound.
This is very, very...
currently in 4th, catching up. He is also on his hards now. And he is gaining time on Ender by the looks of things. Devil's Hound not only is on hards, but he's also slowly increasing his gap over Arakan. Arakan with a bit of a cheeky cut there.
He's already on hards. This actually means that he's already got the mediums and the hards out of his way. So you could actually do only soft stints to the end.
Arakan currently is suffering from terrible tyre wear. Is it wise for him to stay out another lap?
How many laps has he done? Well, it depends on how many laps he's already done.
It looks like Arakan has... Arakan pit on lap 5, lap 6. So he does still... if he pit on lap 5, he does have to wait another lap until he can go into the pits.
Okay.
Kepero hot on the heels of Arakan.
Very closely followed by Kepero.
It looks to be incredibly close between Willie, Aritz and MMS.
Yeah, Willie's going for the move.
So we're now on the rear bumper cam of Arakan as Kepero is going for the overtake. Kepero's done it. And he's pulling away from Arakan like nobody's business.
Yes,
Arakan's tyre wear is seriously
going to affect
him.
Arakan might have refueled.
Refueled without a tyre change.
Arakan might have refueled.
Looking at the difference between himself and Kepero,
Yes.
It's either that or the Citroen has terrible fuel consumption, but I highly doubt that's that big of a difference between them two. So yes, Aragon has pit for fuel, as well as tyres.
The tyres of the safety car are slowly but gently
Oh
turning all
god, a little
to
bit of
individual
contact between
cruises.
Willie and MLS. MLS went off track a little bit as they enter the penultimate chicane.
No damage between the two of them, so no
It's just
action
a mild
necessary.
bump as Willie now goes on the inside, prepping for the overtake,
Pat
and he's done
really
it.
is
Pushed into
falling
7th
back.
position as they move up to the straight. 6th position, sorry.
The gap between first and second is immense now. Pim's pulling away like nobody's business, and Pat is falling behind on those hards.
I have a feeling that Aragon might have fueled on the wrong lap.
It looks to me that Aragon has fueled and not tired.
If so, that would honestly not be. That's honestly just a recipe for more tyre wear, as tyres wear out faster under bigger loads of fuel.
No, the problem is it looks like he hasn't fueled 5 laps after when he should, or he isn't respecting the 5-lap margin in between.
The thing is, you can do less than 5 laps on a set of tyres, and
yeah, but you are required. You have to be on oneself.
Yes. Exactly, but you can just finish off those compounds later down the line. Although that's not a very smart move, but it is an option. So, for example, you can do, if you want to, 3 laps on mediums, pit onto soft, and do whatever, like 6 laps on softs, and then put mediums back on and do at least 2 more laps on mediums, and you would be good to go because you would have done 5 laps on said compound. That would have worked.
Patrick is doing really well at the moment. I know during this morning's practice he was he was debating about not competing at all. But he proving his own doubts to be wrong.
I know Patrick quite well, so maybe he
continues to hold Ender at bay.
Honestly, I know Patrick quite well, so he might have only been trying to blow some steam off with that statement earlier in the morning. So I'm not surprised that he's actually here on the grid competing and actually doing really well. Well, he seems to have gotten very wide though.
Yes, just a touch.
For the case of Aragon and the pit situation, because I'm not completely sure, that will be investigated after the race. So if he receives a penalty, it would be a time penalty at the end of his full time, if it's necessary.
Ender continuing to apply pressure to Patrick in the hopes that Patrick will buckle under said pressure. As we can see in the background, Devil's Hound and Kepler catching up with the top 3.
Pim is looking incredibly comfortable with a 20-second gap between himself and Patrick.
That's immense, and I'm honestly going to call it right now, even though we're only 20 minutes in, we could already be looking at our potential winner, because 20 seconds is a commanding gap.
Yes, but don't forget, you could be the changer of that. There could be an incident where we need to call you the safety car out.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
An extremely good situation for Pim, but it could all be decimated with an incident.
Not just an incident, we don't know. It all depends on how comfortable Pim performs with racing mediums or even hards, and how much of an effect, how much of a time drop off those tyre compounds will cause once he switches over.
Exactly. Different cars might have different tyre wear, and apparently
looking at the damage,
really isn't all that nice on tyre wear.
Looking at damage, it does look like GGRC Ender has hit the back of Patrick, but it's nothing
too substantial.
dangerous.
Yes, they are They are both flashing. It's whatever has happened has given Devil's Hound the opportunity to get right up on Ender, and
he
Devil's
might
Hound
actually
almost go for the
move.
overtake there. Devil's Hound
Well,
has...
actually go for the move. Here we go.
Yes, Devil's Hound's going for the undertake. Oh, yeah, it looks like they're neck and neck for that third position. Devil's Hound, we know, has got in the GTR, he's got the faster straight line speed, but Ender should have the cornering. Devil's Hound is currently in third position.
He has made the move. He is now in third position. But with them two
once
fighting,
again makes a 1-2-3 for Team Suck.
Ender
An
now
extremely strong
applying
showing,
pressure
and
to Devil's
definitely a
Hound.
relief for Patrick, as now Brood can take over the role of fending off each other.
it does look like Patrick is very happy with the battle that went on between Devil's Hound and Ender, because now he is around 1.5 seconds ahead.
Enderwolf is now slowly starting to drop off of...
Pim's gone into the pits.
From Devil's Hound, so I wonder if that damage is the reason that Ender's dropping off.
But Patrick might take over the lead as Pim is in fuel. Oh no, he's coming out ahead of.
Devil's Hound stayed in. Enderwolf has gone in for the pit.
Patrick is into the pits.
Which I'm assuming is for repairs. Devil's Hound now has the second position.
Kepero now up into third.
As Devil's Hound enters T1. Pim has an insane lead as he goes past Raphael, the safety car.
The safety car. And on the top of the safety car, all the wheels of the safety car are slowly and individually turning into freezers.
Patrick went into the pits, didn't he?
Patrick did pit, yes.
He didn't repair his car, though.
He didn't repair?
He did not repair?
No, he didn't.
Maybe the repair time would have been a bit too great, and he thought that he can make it.
I wonder if
with it.
The damage sustained to Patrick is on the rear, so I mean, is that damage as substantial as Ender's front bumper?
Than the front, that has to be said.
Patrick going for the overtake of Arakan. Oh, not quite. So he takes the right hand bend, followed by the left hand bend, followed by the right.
Yes.
Here he goes again.
Pushing for the overtake again.
Patrick is currently in a Porsche sandwich as he is in between Arakan and Arakan. So it looks like he's gonna try and go for
Arakan are blocking Patrick
chicane.
Slightly there.
And
but Arakan
more
will
rubbing.
have the...
Patrick's had to cut the corner.
Paragon. You've got that.
Arak's pushing up Patrick.
Don't worry.
As they enter the straight.
Paying attention.
Patrick pushing up he's neck and neck with Arakan.
But Arakan looks like he is gonna keep the position as
Patrick
overtakes Pat.
Falling back to 7th. Yes, Aritz has snuck up on the inside.
Now
all three of them have caught up to Devil's Hound. Just as I suspected, Devil's Hound
did just go into the pits.
Oh, he switched over to softs
just came
again.
out. Did he come out ahead? Because if he came out ahead, that's a very...
Devil's Hound has come out of the pits ahead.
He is out ahead.
And he's on racing softs as well, so I imagine this is... Devil's Hound's going to increase that lead.
He can really make work.
Yeah,
he can really start cutting into the edge that MLS and Willie now have over him, as they did not pull into the pits like Devil's Hound did.
It is looking like a train of what is that? From Devil's Hound to Capro, which is 4th to 8th. You've got a train currently going.
Well, you've got two members of Team Spinala in 2nd and 3rd, I'm now on board with MLS, who's again crazy all over the place due to his lag.
That might
He's gonna
become an
resolve his
issue
lag issues.
later
It
down the
might
line.
honestly become an issue to Willie
It does.
if he's too close. He could lag out and hit Willie into another dimension.
Pim having pits, or Willie is 20 seconds behind Pim, but Willie hasn't pit yet. Pim has. So that lead
That's
is going to
immense.
extend by another 10-20 seconds. Which is crazy.
Devil's Hound has increased his lead quite substantially. The distance between 4th and 5th. Patrick has claimed 5th back once again. Still hot on his heels are Arakan and Aritz Gaming, and Kepro is slowly getting back into it. He's about to join up with that small group.
Arakan looks to be
They
stuck with a
exit
1.5
T1.
second time penalty. Or just a 1.5 second penalty.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see the lag now on MLS side as he slides past me in a very, very twitchy way.
Incredible lap times that Pim is pulling. He's pulling around 1 to 2 seconds a lap faster than Willie is. So, assessing any damage, and it seems like
I will actually open up a window because
The top
it's
3 positions are all
pretty
running
hot.
racing mediums. 4th position, Devil's Hound's currently running racing soft, so he should be able to start. He's getting closer and closer to Willie and MLS. I am concerned for the safety of Devil's Hound and Willie, with MLS in 3rd position with his current internet problems. Patrick in 5th with Arakan hot on his heels, but Arakan does currently have a 1.5 second penalty. Arakan being followed by Aritz Gaming quite closely.
there we go. Willie and MLS have gone into the pits.
Kepro getting closer and closer. Those pitting would now give Kepro, yes, Kepro's now got the opportunity to get up into 6th place.
We've just crossed the halfway point with 29 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
Oh, Willie has just exited the pits ahead of Kepro. Kepro's got a lot of work to do to get back to the front of the grid after he had such a phenomenal launch. His GGRC enters T1 and now T2. He's got no one around him, so he's got the freedom not to worry about any pressure being applied to him, but he doesn't have any clean air. Doesn't have that suck.
Ooh, intense battle going on between Willie and Kep.
I feel terrible. I've completely neglected the back end of the grid as Z now is now in 10th. This is a lot different to what we were seeing earlier. Leo K currently... Oh, Cameron in 11th as he leaves T2, enters T3. And Leo K in 12th as he completes T1.
So, at the start of the race, we might have had doubts about how Pim could manage on the medium and hard compound tyres. And on the mediums, he's lapping just around 1 second slower than his fastest lap time at the moment.
We're currently looking at a very dominant Team Suck leaderboard at the moment, as we've got Pim in 1st place, Devil's Hound in 2nd, Patrick in 3rd.
This is actually now becoming quite interesting because as Pim is not that far off, starting to lap, coming into the reach of Leo again, as Pim is coming into T6 and Leo has just exited the hairpin of T7.
Yeah, he's
actually
currently
just
on
about to
his
cross
medium
each other.
tyre stint. I would assume he would have one, maybe two more laps before he switches compounds. Let's hope when he gets back onto those softs that he can claw back a bit more time on Kaz and Zinao. Kaz we see driving the GT40. He was very undecided on what car he was going to be racing in. Kaz is going in for the pit for some reason. I don't know why. But still, it's given Leo K plenty of time to catch up.
And the gaining of a 0.5 second penalty while driving past him.
There's still quite a huge gap between Zinao and the 11th and 12th position of Kaz and Leo K.
Did Leo K just pull into the pits, or is he coming out?
Yes, he did. Leo K just pulled
Yes.
into the pits as Kaz exits the hairpin of turn 1.
Pim might be able to lap Leo through the pits, which actually would be quite good, as there wouldn't be no faffing around on track and no hassle on track. Oh
There's
no,
still
Leo
such
seems to coming out just ahead of Pim, but Pim might get
such
the
a
airspeed
commanding
onto
lead
Leo.
on
Yes, Pim is
on
now... Pim has now lapped Leo K.
This is a very dominant lead by Pim, and lapping Leo this early. We're barely halfway through the race, and we've already seen our first lappage of someone.
Indeed. Although it does look like Pim is starting to run out of fuel, so I assume he's gonna pit sometime soon.
He definitely should if his fuel's running low.
He's just
Otherwise he'll
under
be running on
quarter
fumes.
of a tank.
How much?
Ignore the
Maybe like
cursor.
a fifth.
Viewers at home. Okay. GGRC and are still very lonely on the track at the moment.
Devil Sound seems to have
MLS
managed
has
to
fallen
drive out
back
the gap
towards 8th
to
position.
Pim-
I'm
to
assuming he
Pim
must have
Fitzpatrick.
pitted. Let's just check the stream as we've got more comments coming in. Where is Z? Dylan Mertz asking where Z was. Oh, that's my neglect in the back of the pack. I apologise for that.
This gives Z a little bit more screen time.
No, we don't want Kaz. There we see Z. Z, much like Kepler driving the Citroen. Hashtag suck on the spoiler there. I don't have it written down, but what was the suck? Was an acronym for something?
It is,
Strange United Chip Collectors, I think. Yeah, it is.
that is it.
Very original.
It's them
Originality
against
device.
Arakan's Spinala squad.
The Spinalas.
Spinala. With a B, I believe.
Pim has picked up a penalty of 0.5 seconds. Ooh, very sturdy coming out of T4. Very sturdy.
Zinao does put down some very clean, consistent laps. He is. I've not been with the GGRC long, but he has progressed immensely in the time that I've been with you guys.
He has.
Oh, really? We honestly thought that he was going to be an AM when he first showed up, but he showed up and immediately made a statement by, I believe, finishing in the top 6 within his first race.
MLS is very slowly moving further and further down the grid. He's currently in 8th position, a far cry from the 3rd, I believe he was earlier.
Ended up all the way back down in 9th again.
Pim's gargantuan lead is with 23 minutes remaining on the clock. I'm sure it would take an MLS-sized hurricane to take that lead away from him.
Yes, indeed. As I believe yes, the leader, Pim, is now in the pits. Probably for new set of tyres and fuel.
Yes, Devil's Hound is currently running low on fuel, very low. In fact, I'd be surprised if he stays out on this lap. One would like to assume he'd pit in.
I have a feeling that Pim will possibly complete the last couple of stints on soft compound tyres.
As we see Pim leaving the pit now.
No, he's put on hards.
He's gone on to hards. He had secured himself enough of a lead that he could have easily sat down and had a sandwich.
Indeed.
Patrick now entering the pits, as is Devil's Hound in the pits. Kepler has entered the pits. We currently have a Team Suck in first, second, third and fourth, and they've all pitted. Devil's Hound now currently exiting.
Still out ahead.
Everyone's going in the pits. Willybug stayed on the straight. He's currently in third position. He's very close to Devil's Hound, as Devil's Hound has just pitted, allowing him to catch up.
Here is Devil's Hound. His gap to third place definitely has shrunk, but he does have the advantage now of fresh tyres.
There's spin. Leo K has spun around.
Oh no.
It does look to be a case of cold, hard compound tyres that he's just put on. There's no damage, but he has spun. Coming out, I believe, off the Schumacher S's.
Pardon me.
Everyone racing.
A little bit tired by sitting here, being a bit obsolete.
Yes, but it does look like everyone is seeming to behave themselves incredibly. No one causing any major accidents that would need the safety car to come out.
So we're currently on
Safety
board.
car, the safety car
now
not being
MLS.
needed is indeed a good.
As one of our comments on the stream says, Leo K was spinning out. That's why Spinala. It's a cursed name. It's cursed the team. We're currently on board with MLS now, hoping to catch some more of his crazy internet goings on.
I mean, it's getting a lot of screen time.
He's the laggy star of the show at the moment.
Hashtag Orange Justice, former teammate.
So
are Ritz and Z close together? Because I see the leaderboard flashing sometimes.
The gap between Aritz and Z now is currently 9 seconds, but shrinking rapidly.
I'm currently on board with Kepler. He's
a bit weird,
right on the back of Enderwolf.
I see the leaderboard flashing of Ritz and Z now. Very aggressive.
Looks like Ender is under pressure from Kepler.
He is. He is.
Etna on the worse tyre wear at the moment, being on slightly worn hards, whilst Cap is on fresh softs. So I believe coming down to the hairpin, Ender's going really defensive.
Yeah, I would assume Ender will do everything he possibly can
Another
to stop
spin.
Kepler overtaking. Kepler
Ender
pushes up on the inside.
No, not
Ender
Ender.
didn't spin.
Leo K did, and he's got quite severe front damage.
Oh, Leo K's really not having much luck with those hard wheels. His entire front end is flashing critical.
I believe he will have to
Is this
come into
career
the
over
pits.
for Leo K?
It might be. He's got his hazards on. He's letting everybody past him. As he's now
He's
being
put on
lapped
his
by
hazard
MLS.
lights.
Who's coming around the first corner? Is that Pim?
Indeed it is. That is Pim. The gap between himself and Devil's Hound is at 20 seconds.
Yes,
that.
Pim comes around T3 and T4. He'll be passing you in just a second, Raphael. There you go.
And as stated, Leo K has come into the pits.
As we see Raphael there
repair
enjoying his
his
fish and
damage.
chips on the side of the road.
Yes.
What would you say is your favourite livery of the current ones on the grid?
Personal favourite, I would go for Devil's Hound. As we move through the grid, let's just have a little look. Arrogance is also quite nice.
I'm a very big fan of Devil's Hound. He's got quite a unique livery compared to the other ones that are currently on the grid. It is still with the matte black of his team, but with a couple of very nice and organised spots of green, orange, and some. Is that?
I believe.
It's interesting
Blue,
that
pink and green, I believe.
yeah, it's interesting that Arats has decided to go against the team colour of orange and choose a pink car.
Although that livery that Ritz is running actually is an older livery that he has made.
Oh, I see.
It's a livery that he had presumably lying around, and I think I've seen him a few times in other races.
As you can see on the door of
used
Arats,
that
he has the
livery,
GGRC emblem of the parrot.
Honestly, to me, Devil's Hound's livery, I think it's extremely well done. It's very original, in my opinion.
Yeah, the fans in the comments have chosen Arakan and Arats as their favourites.
Very. They to be fair.
Then again, Willys, I do like Willys. I like the black lower section, separate, like the side skirts and the diffusers.
I'm also a very big fan of Willie's livery. I loved his
And the powder coat white
livery
wheels.
back in season 7.
Indeed.
And now this very bright colour variation, it really suits the car quite well.
I've only just noticed Willys livery. I thought it was squiggles. It's a watch. It's a Tag Heuer watch.
Yeah, it's
It
a
is.
complete watch on the side.
That's very cool.
It's a Tag Heuer, I think, livery. I think he is indeed sponsored by Tag Heuer. Of course,
Yeah.
very officially sponsored by Tag Heuer.
It's a variant of his season 7 livery, I believe.
Yes, indeed. It's basically the same as his season 7 livery, but simply with a different colour on it. So instead of the dark cyan blue, a light fluorescent orange. Which, gotta be honest, looks quite nice.
What are your thoughts on Pim's Subaru livery?
Pim Subaru. I honestly think it's very, very well done, as the splashes of purple and pink, well, at least especially pink, are obviously the colours of the STI brand. So it suits the car, and it actually has a bit of thought put into it.
I didn't think the contrast between the pink purple, the matte black, and the lime green that you see on the mirrors would work as well as they do, but I really like his livery.
Mhm.
I really like too. I really do like it as well. And fun fact, that livery that he is running is indeed his season 7 Fanani livery. Throughout the rest of the season 7, he ran the same livery, but instead of the matte black of pink and purple, he ran it in the original Subaru STI 555 WRC livery colours of blue and yellow, with some splashes of lime green in it as well.
Raf, as you currently have wheels on the ground, do you have a who currently has the fastest lap?
Currently, it is indeed still Pim with a 155.495.
It was one of his early laps that he had as he was
It
still
was
the
indeed
softer
one of his early
compound.
laps. It's not his first lap. I think he managed to improve on his first flying lap, as it was also 55, but I believe it was a 55.7 or 55.9. He managed to improve upon that to 55.4. Very impressive. It seems as if in the later stages the race has settled down a little bit. Not much fighting.
Yeah, there's
close
not much
quarters
grouping
racing
up.
going on.
Everyone has quite a gap between them all.
The only real pack that seems to be is a pack between Ender MLS Ritz and oh no, that's Leo. Ender
Yes,
MLS and Ritz.
Ender MLS and Ritz.
But they honestly shouldn't be fighting too much, as they are all teammates. Oh, and Willie is into the pits. That might be his final pit stop.
He's in
Patrick
for
has
fuel
the
and
advantage to
tyres.
get past him now, but I believe that most of the grid is still going to do another pit stop by now.
Patrick is really pushing the limits of his fuel and his tyres as he goes in for another lap, lap 25. He would have to come in on this one.
I do believe that Patrick and Capero will pit, if not this.
Yes, Devil's Hound
well,
is also in the same boat as Patrick, pushing the fuel and tyres to the absolute limits.
Indeed.
And Pim pushing the fuel to the limits.
Looking at the last laps, both Pim and Devil's Hound had basically the exact same lap, with only, I believe, 1600th of a second, no, 16,000th of a second, separating the last laps.
Poor Leo, slowly being gobbled up by the entire field, has now been lapped all the way down until P9.
Willie and Arakan, fresh tyres, they have enough fuel to see out the end of the race. I would assume they would have some form of strategy, hopefully, to claw back enough positions and have some plan of attacking for the top 3 positions all pitting.
And it
Devil's
does
Hound
look
and
like
Pip seem to be rather safe and comfortable from the rest of the field.
Capero, he must have to pit this lap, surely. Yep. So first, second, third, and fourth are all pit, which leaves.
Interestingly, Pat. Oh no, I was about to say Pat did not pit, but no,
yeah,
I am.
Fifth and sixth of Willie and Arakan. This is their opportunity to claw back some time and find the front of the grid once more.
Willie did indeed pit a lap earlier.
I do believe that with both Patrick and Capero coming out on fresh tyres and enough fuel to hopefully last the rest of the race, they might inherit the third and fourth places back to complete a 1 to 4 for suck.
We're currently looking at Z now in the 10th position. I don't think it is possible for him to catch up with ninth, as Aritz has got a 22-second lead over him. But Z now very lonely in the pack at the moment with 22 seconds behind and 15 seconds ahead of teammate Kaz.
It is crucial though, because Kep managed to come out ahead both Ender and MLS. That could have cost him valuable time. He did not manage to do that, but he did manage to come out ahead of both of them, which is very good news for him, and he will definitely be pleased with that. Patrick already hot on, starting to get onto the heels of Arakan. This is potentially very bad news for Arakan.
Arakan is on the weaker compound,
now,
as Arakan is on worn mediums. Patrick is on fresh softs.
I think Arakan will have to pull into the pits very shortly, which is actually
It's
very,
going to cost
very
him.
bad
It's
news
going to cost
because
him
that
dearly
will
if he
release
does.
both
No, he's
Pat
staying out.
and Kep.
Araken's decided to stay out.
Araken's staying out.
If he plays this very defensively for the next 7 minutes, 8 minutes of holding Pat at bay, this might give more points to Team Spinala at the end result.
Really, what Araken wants to do now is to keep Pat at bay to prevent
Pat's
him
gone
from...
for a little bit of a shunt there. It's caused Pat to go
really
wide.
What Pat wants to do is to keep Araken at bay.
Yeah, Araken sandbagging is now. Araken now has a Kepero and Patrick sandwich on the go as they enter T3, pushing up to T4. Kepero, Patrick has taken the position from Araken, as has Kepero. Araken has fallen behind.
This is very bad news. This is extremely bad news for Willie. Now, both Kep and Pat have been released to hunt down Willie. They don't have much time to do it, but they have some time to.
They've got Ender, who's currently on softs, but he does have that front end damage that he still hasn't fixed. Let's hope it doesn't.
Fixed.
No, let's hope it hasn't hindered him enough. 7 minutes
to
for
close an 8-second gap. So if they use each other, as in give themselves a slipstream, or wait, because they are team suck, if they give each other enough suck, they can catch him.
Well, Kepero's gotten past Patrick.
Kepero has got past Patrick. Patrick now, much like the beginning of the race, Patrick could be using this time to sandbag, if you will, and slow down those that are following him, to give Kepero, Devil's Hound and Pim the top 3 positions.
Perhaps this could potentially be still a suck 1, 2, 3 if Kep manages to catch up to Willie.
Yes, sorry, I forgot there. Willie currently has 3rd. He does
I believe that they only have about 3 laps to do so.
They have 3 laps, but there is still quite a substantial gap of about 5 or 6 seconds. 7 seconds.
Who's out of the first corner? It is Willie.
Willie's
this is actually crucial. Willie managed to cross the line before the 6-minute marker. So Kep and Pat did not manage to cross the line before the 6-minute marker, and thus might not be able to complete more than 3 laps. They might honestly have only 3 laps to work with, whereas Willie could only hold out for a little bit more and actually be doing 4 laps and locking in at least a top 3 position.
Araken's using that clean air from Ender to stay in.
One on the topic of pace,
the well-worn
has managed to
racing
substantially improve his lap time from a 1:55.4 to 1:54.7. Again, showing his absolute dominance and control over this race that he has had from start to finish.
Indeed.
So we have more comments from the crowd. I'm still not seeing them.
Highest position for spin.
The crowd there cheering for Willie in the comments section.
Got some German supporters.
How's that? Yeah, Devil's Hound, he's so far ahead of Willie in 3rd place. I mean...
Ooh, the gap between Kepero and Patrick has gone down to about 2.5 seconds.
Patrick only has a 3.7 second lead over Enderwolf, GGRC Ender, and that's followed by Araken and MLS.
They're so comfortably in 2nd place.
Yeah, we're coming down to the 3-minute 40 mark. I'm surprised at how close everybody is. I had envisioned much bigger gaps at the start of the race.
Kepero seems to be pushing extremely hard to catch up with Willie, to at least attempt to. Patrick has now managed to pull off a little bit of a gap to 6th, but this is an extremely strong showing from Team Suck, as they are putting in places 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Patrick's gap over Ender, I wonder how much of that is due to the front end damage that Ender sustained much earlier on in the race.
Probably quite a lot, as front end damage really does reduce a lot of the effect of the splitter and thus neglecting downforce creation a little bit.
Yeah.
Arakan has lost position to MLS.
Out of the top 10 at the moment, it's very 50-50, with 5 of the top 10 being in Team Suck and 5 of them being from the Spinala squad.
Well, to be fair,
yeah, poor
top
Arakan
12
is
are 6 and 6.
poor Arakan is clinging on for dear life as he's on very worn mediums and his red fuel indicator is flashing. I don't know if he'll be able to finish this race. It'd be foolish to go in the pits, but then it'd be foolish to stay out. What do you do in that situation?
I mean, he misjudged it.
Kaz now picking a fight with the race controller.
The race director.
I have no idea why he is picking a fight with me.
Oh.
I am constantly going through checking.
And expressing his feelings about something.
Also with Kaz, worn tyres, low fuel.
Will you be able to get through till the end?
It does look
I'd
like
assume
he's
it's only one more lap.
Yeah, I can only assume Kaz has got plenty of time to secure another lap. Leo K, unfortunately, is he's in a whole different time zone.
Poor him.
The gap between Pim and Devil hasn't changed much or whatsoever in the last 3 laps, maybe more.
This has not been a particularly good race for Leo K. Leo K with a very poor showing for his second quarantine event. Still, the only way is up. Plenty of room for improvement.
Where is Pim? Actually,
Pim is crossing the line right now to start his last lap.
Already,
yeah.
Willie might not make another lap.
Pim
I think
certainly
Willie
has the
will
fuel.
just about make another lap, but I
Pim
don't
has the
think
fuel for
Kepler
another lap. Devil's Hound also has plenty of fuel for another lap, plenty of tyres.
Actually, Kep might just about make another lap. This could be crucial.
Willie could also make another lap on fuel and time. We're ticking down the final 10 seconds of this race.
And so Kep does manage to get another lap.
It looks like Patrick might be out of it. Yep, Patrick is out.
Oh,
Patrick
Pim is stopping, and we have Pim stopping in front of the safety car.
Is there
maybe to signify something?
So now we
up.
only have 4 positions on the track now as the race is coming to an end for those from 5th downwards. Kepler in 4th, Willie in 3rd. He's not too far ahead of Kepler.
Kepler is
5 seconds.
Extremely hard. I'm actually going to follow this fight.
Devil's Hound's in 2nd.
They are all
Devil's Hound's in 2nd by 3
fuel.
seconds. 2 seconds. Devil's Hound is clawing back a victory because Pim was showboating. That's going to cost him dearly, but then
they're
all on the same team. So
get a nice finishing photo here.
This would be a 66.
The lead is reduced now to less than a second. I wonder if any of that's down. Oh no, it's not fuel reserves. Not down to the.
Not
the safety car has joined the race.
Willie is slowly catching up. It's a fever pitch as they're nearing the final quarter.
Looking at it.
Oh, Devil's Hound and Pim sort of going for the neck and neck. It looks like they may be pushing for a photo finish. Devil's Hound.
They might be pushing for a epic
victory royale.
Winner's photo.
Devil's Hound's running with his hazards on. Is that hazards in celebration?
Right, so
just
coming
aggressively showboating now as they go for the photo finish.
Devil's Hound.
Look at that! Yes, first and second for Pim and Devil's Hound.
Suck Squad takes a 1-2.
Team Suck
sensational.
We have Willie for Team Spinala in 3rd as he crosses the line, followed very closely by Kepler in 4th place. It looks to me
Will the
that
safety
Team
car actually
Suck,
still make it to the
Team Suck
finish
has
line?
taken the
I doubt it.
victory. Let's go
I
on
reckon
board now
really
with. We're
trying
now
to have a go at me. So
we're currently on board now with the pace car as he ends out the race
and
for
I am
everyone.
receiving an invitation to a party by Pim, which
Yes,
I won't
so
accept
that is
time.
that was race 1 of the quarantine
the
series, the
race.
GGRC quarantine series, round 1. Congratulations
Absolute
to
dominant showing.
Team Suck and to Pim and Devil's Hound and Willie as they take your 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Thank you for joining us, and signing off, I have been Gimpboy86, joined by Raf on pace car and Nick on commentary as well. So thank you
Goodbye.
very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.